Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Carl Pauline and this week I have a very special episode for you. And that is because I want to talk to you about Tony Robbins's Unleash the Power Within event, course, seminar, workshop, whatever you want to call it. Now, I've just come back from Singapore where I attended this year's event and it was fantastic. The energy in the room was just unbelievable. There was around about 9,000 people there and we learned an incredible amount over 4 days. And what I want to do in this video is just cover a few of the things that really resonated with me from a productivity perspective and how to improve yourself as a person and in your whole area of life. Now, the first thing that really, and this came up on day one, which is your state, your physical state, your physical being controls pretty much everything that's going on in your life. Now, what I mean by the physical state is, and this is a key phrase that is repeated regularly throughout the day, which is motion equals emotion. And what it means is if you're sat down at a desk all day, slumped at your desk, gradually your shoulders are going deeper and deeper and deeper into yourself and you're typing away, your mood is going to drop, your energy levels are going to drop, everything is going to start dropping. But if you get up and you start moving your body, whether you go up and down the stairs a couple of times, you briskly walk around the office, or just if you have the opportunity to get out and walk, you can put yourself in a much more positive state. Movement, motion equals emotion. And you can really change your state very quickly just by moving and getting your heart rate pumping. But movement is everything. Now, if you think about it from an evolutionary point of view, when we go back hundreds of thousands of years, human beings moved all day. I believe I remember reading somewhere that typically a human being from around 200,000 years ago was moving 20 to 30 kilometers a day. That's a lot, considering that these days, when I see people showing me their Apple Watch and they've only walked 1 kilometer, no wonder our emotional health is not very good. So move. If you feel yourself going down, you're feeling down in a slump, then get yourself moving. Just move around. And there's one of the things that you could learn from one of the co-presenters at the event, a guy called Joseph McClelland III, is attitude. Attitude is incredible. You actually learn this on day 2. Attitude is where you move your ass very quickly and you will soon put a smile on your face and your energy levels will go. So that's the first thing that I really got into. Your state is controlled by your movement. Move and you will find that your emotional state really rises up and you become a lot more positive. Another thing that I actually learned was that mental state that you go into is something that can help you to achieve anything. Our biggest fears, the reason why we don't do things, are controlled by just 2 things. The feeling of not being enough. We have a fear of not being enough, i.e. we're not accomplishing anything. We're kind of loser or a failure. And the feeling of not being loved. Those are the 2 core areas of fear that people have. Now, they manifest themselves in a very different way. One of the things that Tony Robbins kind of jokingly says is that the word stress is the executive word for fear. Now, if you think about it, where does stress come from? Well, a lot of stress comes from the work that you're doing. I have too much work to do. I'm overwhelmed. I have way too much work on my plate. Well, the simple thing, don't do it. I've got to do it. Now, why do you have to do it? Now you're going to find your way back to one of those core fears. Usually the fear of stress, which stress is just another word for fear, comes back to the feeling of not being enough. I fail. I thought I am a failure. Therefore, all your fears come down to those areas. Another thing that was really powerful that we picked up on, which is our beliefs, our limiting beliefs. Now, I see this a lot in the work that I do with my coaching clients, which is People write to me, they say, I'm very, very busy. I am the busiest person in the world. Although they don't say that, that's what they're kind of hinting at. You know, when you say that I am busier than everyone else, I am too busy, I can't do this, this is actually a limiting belief. Because there are a lot of people out there in the world today, people like Sir Richard Branson, people like David Allen, people like Tony Robbins. They don't go around telling themselves they are busy, overwhelmed, and overworked. What they're doing is they're prioritizing. And the reason why you feel overworked, stressed, and overwhelmed is because you're not prioritizing properly. It's not that you are busier than everyone else, because we only have 24 hours in a day, and therefore we've got to prioritize. And this is a limiting belief. Now, we all have these limiting beliefs, and there are two types of limiting beliefs. There's a personal limiting belief and global limiting beliefs. And it's something that you've got to be really aware of. If you find yourself making an excuse about why you cannot do something, the chances are it is a limiting belief. Because the reality is, if somebody else can do it, more often than not, so could you. If you took the time to actually learn how to do it, if you took the time to prioritize how to do it, you could find a way to do it. And those are the limiting beliefs. And the final big takeaway, I mean, there were many things that I learnt on this course, but the final big takeaway was, if you really want to master your life, then there are only 7 areas you need to master. Your physical health is like the foundation. Without your physical health, there's very little that you can do to improve your life. So you need to take care of your physical health. That includes your fitness, your diet, your weight. Everything needs to be in good order. Moving up that scale, we move to your emotions and meaning. If you don't have control of your emotions, and I find that a lot of people surprisingly believe, falsely, that they cannot control their emotions. Of course you can control your emotions. You know, politics these days are very divisive, polarizing, let's use that word, polarizing. And there's people in one camp and the people in the other camp. You know, coming from the UK, we have Brexit at the moment. You know, it's become almost like tribal war. And so it's very easy to get caught up in the emotion of all that. But it's far better to say, look, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to read any more about Brexit. It just winds me up. It affects my emotions. So reading negative news, for example, you don't have to read negative news. You can keep away from it if you wish, if you choose to do so. So get control of your emotions. The next one on that list is your relationships. Are there some areas in your life, some relationships that are broken, that need fixing because they're bothering you? Now, if any of these things are on your mind, they're causing a stress within you, and you need to deal with that stress and repair those broken relationships. Moving up is time. Time is another area that if we don't master, then our lives can very rapidly get out of control. If you're spending 90% of your time at work, then your time is out because you're not spending enough time on your relationships, your family, the people you love, and the people you care about. So make sure you get your time right. And moving on up to the next level, which is getting your finances under control. You know, your finances, I didn't say finances. Before we get that, it's your career and your mission. I'm doing this without notes. Your career and your mission are very important. If you don't feel inspired by what you're doing, then you need to review what you're doing and find a way to make it inspiring. Or if you cannot do that, then it might be time to change the kind of work that you're doing. Further up then is your finances. If your finances are in a complete mess, that's going to be playing on your mind. It's going to affect your emotional health, your relationships. It'll possibly affect your physical health. So you need to get your finances in order. And there are plenty of resources out there today that will help you to do that. And finally, at the top of the pyramid, we have contribution and spirituality. You know, are you contributing back to society? You know, we live in an amazing world with amazing technology. You know, we can create videos like this today that 20 years ago you would have needed to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to be able to prepare, and then we wouldn't even have had a platform to do it. We have a lot to be grateful for, and we've got a lot that we can contribute back to society to be grateful for what we've given. And your spirituality is very important. Whatever God you believe in, whatever prophet you believe in, whether it's Jesus, Muhammad, or it's Moses, it doesn't matter what area of your religion or your spirituality is, but as long as you have it, you believe it, and you allow it to give yourself that strength within you, and you master those 7 areas. And if you do a search on Google, I'm sure you'll find a lot of information on the 7 areas of mastery that you can get to give. Now, if you're interested in putting the 7 areas of mastery together, by the way, this week I have sent out an Evernote video that will help you to do that and to show you how to set that up. And if you haven't already taken or gone to Unleash the Power Within, I can promise you it would be one of the best investments you ever make in yourself. It's an incredible experience, a very emotional experience, plus the fact you will learn how to walk on fire. And once you realize that you can walk on fire, you start to realize there's a lot of things in your mind that are stopping you from achieving your full potential. And that's essentially what Unleash the Power Within will do. It will help you to unleash that full potential within you. So if you've got one coming up in your town, in your city, in your country, I strongly recommend that you do it. I know, for instance, that next year in the UK, there's one in Birmingham. I'm not sure exactly when. I know there's one in Australia in September next year. And of course, there's quite a few throughout the United States. So if you're in Australia in September next year, I will see you there, because I will definitely be going again. And if you're in the UK round about March time, April time, then look out for the one that's going on in Birmingham. These are amazing events, and I strongly recommend that you go ahead and go on the course. It will change your life. And I don't mean that in a hyperbolic way. I mean it genuinely will change your life. Well, thank you very much for watching this rather long episode this week, but I really wanted to just express how amazing Unleash the Power Within is. It's an event, it's a course, it's a workshop, it's a seminar, whatever you want to call it, that I strongly recommend that you go ahead and take. Well, thank you very much for watching this episode. It just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Thank you very much for watching this video. Now, have I got something special to tell you about? The Time and Life Mastery version 3 course has launched. Now, this course is transformative. It will transform your life. If you find that your life is drifting from one day to the next and that you feel that you're not actually achieving your goals, then this course is going to show you how to change that. It's going to show you how to identify what is truly important to you. It's going to show you how to find what it is you want out of life, and then show you the steps that you need to take in order to get there. This course is amazing. The feedback I've got from versions 1 and version 2 have just been tremendous. It has helped so many people, and I want this opportunity to tell you that it can do the same for you. I hope you will take a look at the course, have a go, take the course, and start transforming your life today. This course will do that for you. Take a look, get yourself enrolled, and hopefully I'll see you in the course.